Car prices have gone wild, but you can still find some killer American V8s for under $5,000. These rides might need a little love, but that's part of the fun. Let's jump into 8 of the best budget V8 beasts you can grab in 2025. 1. SN95 and New Edge Mustang GTs. Alright, kicking things off with a classic, SN95 and New Edge Mustang GTs. These guys are basically the go-to V8 if you're hunting for something under $5,000. You're more likely to find a 94 to 98 SN95 in decent shape for under $5,000, and honestly, those 4.6 liter V8s under the hood are like the reliable dogs of the muscle car world, workhorses that just keep going. Prices usually start around $4,000, but if you're patient and lucky, you might even snag one for about $3,000. Now, unless you stumble on a killer deal on the older pre-facelift SN95, I'd hold out for the New Edge Mustangs from 99 to 04. They look sharper, feel fresher, and honestly, they just have that vibe that says, I'm here to make some noise. I test drove 2 New Edges last year, both around $3,000, and sure, they were a bit rough, like your college buddy who's seen better days, but totally worth it. Heads up though, Russ loves to throw a party around the front strut mount, so keep an eye out. And if you're thinking about a convertible, beware. Those 60-year-old ladies might beat you to it, thinking it's just some cute V6. True story. Imagine cruising down the highway, the V8 rumble making you grin every time you downshift, all for less than what you'd spend on a gaming setup. Now that's a win. 2. F-body Camaros and Firebirds. Next up, the Camaro. The Mustang's slightly tougher, slightly louder cousin. The New Edge Camaro got a facelift in '98, and honestly that update did wonders for the looks. Like the Mustangs, unless you hit the jackpot on an older model, it's usually worth spending a little extra or hunting longer for one of the post-facelift versions. Trust me, it's worth it. Where I'm at, you can find a decent Camaro for around $4,500 with about 100,000 miles on the clock. A buddy of mine even snagged one for just under $5,000. If you're eyeing the 3rd gen Camaros, they're often cheaper, but be warned, people either love those vintage vibes or wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Weirdly enough, the 3rd gen models sometimes cost more than the newer 4th gen ones, which is kind of backwards. Oh, and about the fire-breathing beastly Firebird WS6 from the 4th gen? Yeah, those legends are still way out of budget, but 3rd gen Firebirds? Those are usually affordable and easier to find if you want to get your hands on some classic muscle without selling a kidney. And no joke, just turning the key in a Camaro somehow makes you instantly cooler. No questions asked. 3. Chrysler 300C. Next up, the Chrysler 300C. Perfect for the gentleman who wants to blend in at bingo night but still peel out with some serious attitude when it's time to go. Yeah, Gertrude, I'm looking at you. These cars come with that legendary Hemi V8, which might scare off some folks because of the infamous Hemi tick. Usually it's just some broken manifold bolts or threads. Not a big deal. The lifter noise, though, is the real headache. But with the right oil and a little cash to upgrade those lifters, you're good to go. What you're getting is a solid engine that sounds like a beast, a surprisingly plush interior considering the price, and plenty of room to mod if you're into that. And if you're worried about space or style, Dodge Magnum RTs are in the same ballpark. Just watch the mileage. Ideally under 180,000 unless you're cool with a bit more wear. And let's be honest, when the valet parks your 300C right in front of a lineup full of cars worth 6 times more, that's a flex money can't buy. It's all about presence, and this car has it in spades. 4. C4 Corvettes. Another Chevy that went head-to-head with those 4th gen Mustangs is the C4 Corvette. These cars had quite a few tweaks over the years, so if you find one that catches your eye, do a little homework on its quirks before diving in. They're solid starting points if you want a sporty ride without breaking the bank. One of the coolest things about these is the Targa top, basically a hard top with a removable roof panel, so you get the style and the open air fun without the full convertible hassle. I'll be honest, I haven't heard one that made me jump out of my seat with the sound, but the interior is a whole vibe, like stepping into an 80s pinball machine. Retro and weirdly charming. Just a heads up, never, and I mean never, buy one with aftermarket seats that don't fit seatbelts, unless you want to spend hours wrestling with wrenches and cursing at every turn. I speak from experience, and yes, the therapy bills add up. Rolling up to a car meet in a Corvette you snagged for less than your friend's fancy speaker system, the looks you get are absolutely priceless. 5. Chevy Caprice PPV. Next up is the Chevy Caprice PPV. This beast packs a 6-liter V8 pushing around 350 horsepower, but here's the twist. It was never really meant for us regular folks. Nope, these were police-only rides made to catch speeders, not casual Sunday drivers. So before you jump in, do your homework on ex-cop cars in general and these in particular. But don't let that scare you off. I remember spotting one at a Cars and Coffee event and thinking it was some odd engine swap. I kept walking, but when it peeled out, it was one of the loudest, most unforgettable car sounds I've ever heard. Fast? Not exactly. Comfortable? Not really. But man, that growl was something else. These sleepers fly under most people's radar, and you can find decent ones anywhere between $4,000 and $12,000. I always wish Chevy SSs were cheaper, and most would agree. But if you're willing to put in some effort, adding comfort, learning the ropes, you can snag a Caprice PPV that's basically a baby SS for a bargain. Want to upgrade? Slap on a G8 front end, then switch to an SS front end later, and boom, you've got yourself a muscle sedan that looks like it cost 40 grand, but didn't break the bank. Someone once said, the dark side of the force is a pathway to many abilities some consider unnatural. That's the Caprice PPV in a nutshell. 6. Cadillac DTS. Next up, we've got the Cadillac DTS from 2006 to 2011. I'm deliberately leaving out the word muscle because, well, that's a bit generous for this big cruiser. These come with Northstar Vive 8s, which gave them a bit of a rough rep for being unreliable. But between 2004 and 2006, Cadillac actually fixed most of those headaches. So if you find one from those years or later, you're in better shape. These aren't exactly the fastest rides on the block, and yeah, you might catch a whiff of that classic old people car aroma. Still, there's some hidden modding potential under all that comfy luxury if you're willing to dig for it. They're super easy to find, usually in decent shape, making them one of the easiest V8 sedans to grab for cheap on this list. These share their engine with the Buick Lucerne CXS and the Lucerne Super, so parts aren't a nightmare either. Nothing screams, I've made some questionable money moves but still want to look classy, quite like rolling in a Cadillac that's depreciated faster than a Black Diamond ski run. 7. Panther platform cars. Alright, now let's talk about the Panther platform cars, the Crown Vics, Grand Marquis, and Town cars. I know, these things are basically boats with wheels, heavy, slow, and the interiors aren't exactly winning any beauty contests. And if you end up with a retired cop Crown Vic, you might spend more time wondering about who rode in the back than actually driving. Folks who own these swear by them. They love the crazy comfort, the wallet-friendly prices, and somehow these giant cruisers are actually pretty fun to drive. Toss in a few Mustang-inspired tweaks, and suddenly you've got a sleeper with some serious street cred. Marauders are part of this family too, with a bit more oomph under the hood thanks to their 4-valve engines. Finding a clean Marauder under $5,000? Yeah, good luck with that. 8. GMV 8 sedans and coupes. Alright, now let's talk about a quieter GMV 8 option. Actually, there are 4, but we'll zero in on one. The 06 and 07 Monte Carlo SS packs a 5.3-liter V8 pushing out 300 horsepower, and these days you're looking at prices between $4,500 and $9,000. The catch? Finding any of these in decent shape is about as easy as finding a barber who actually nails your haircut on the first try. Still, they get a solid thumbs up for style and muscle, and chances are good you'll spot at least one worth buying if you keep an eye out. Now imagine pulling up to a light next to a flashy modern muscle car. They rev their engine, feeling all cocky. You quietly fire up your Monte Carlo, and their confident smirk slowly turns into a confused frown. Quick shout out to honorable mentions. Lincoln MK8 and LS offer V8 luxury vibes, though LS is definitely polarizing. And don't overlook V8 SUVs and trucks like early Chevy Tahoes and Suburbans. They aren't muscle cars but bring serious torque and presence, often near the $5,000 mark. So, which honorable mention caught your eye? Drop a comment below telling me your favorite under-the-radar V8 ride, or if there's another budget V8 you think deserves a shout out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more car content coming your way.